Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. See the little fit. I want to look how stupid these rappers be looking in the middle of the winter. Especially them rappers that be having on all the damn jewelry, be having on like 10 chains, be having 4 or 5 rings on each hand. I'll be like, God damn, can you pick shit up? But that's beside the story. So, episode 20. So, previous episode, I talked about getting jump. And, people say, oh, you got jump, was that your only fight? Hell no, that wasn't my only fight. So, like, growing up in New York, right? Pretty much, like, the mindset back in the day, mid to late 90s, early 2000s was you protect your name. Like, this was still before people were shooting. People actually fought when they had problems. So, you fought, you dapped up after it, everything was cool. Like, there wasn't no, I fight you, I win, you come back, you try to shoot me. It was none of that. So, we had this situation. Well, all right, so let me go back. My very first fight I ever got into was over this girl. So, this girl, I ain't gonna say her name, but this is first grade. This girl, I don't remember what she did to me on the playground. Well, actually, you know what? That's not even my first fight. My very first fight was in kindergarten. Playing basketball with this dude, I scored on the dude. The dude got mad. He spit in my face. Spit rolled down my face, hit my shirt. And when shit like that happen, everybody start looking at you to see what your reaction gonna be like. Oh shit, what are they gonna do? When I told you, like, the funny thing about me, like, when I get mad, like, I start crying. People think, like, I'm crying because, like, I'm soft or something, but it's just the anger. So, like, dude spit, and like I said, it started rolling down, and, like, everybody looking at me, and, like, my eyes went from, like, tearing to just, like, straight up anger. Like, I punched that dude, hit that dude so freaking hard. Oh, I was so mad. I hit the dude, and he fell, and, like, I guess he fell onto a rusty nail, so he had to, like, go to the doctor and get a shot, and they were trying to make me seem like I'm the bad guy, but I'm like, the dude spit on me, so I'm like, fuck y'all. Well, I didn't say that, obviously. I was, like, 5, but so that was the first fight. The second fight I ever got into was on a playground, and it was this girl. I don't remember what she did, but she went back and told another dude, I can't remember if they were cousins or not, or they just cool, that I had hit her or something, and he came over, and dude swung on me, and I ain't gonna lie, he caught me good. Like, dude was bigger than me, like, he swung on me, like, we started tussling, but I ain't gonna lie, I got my ass whooped. He won that fight. That shit was looking sad. Like, I was looking around like, shit, somebody gonna break this shit up? Like, damn, this nigga whooping my ass. Like, goddamn. So, after that, I think the next time I got into a fight, I want to say maybe like 4th, 5th grade, and was walking home from the park. I remember it was a group of friends, we were walking home from the park, and these 2 guys called themselves picking on me or whatever. I don't remember what they were saying, maybe like some black jokes or fat jokes, some shit like that. But one of the dudes stuck his leg out and tripped me, and I fell into some mud. So I'm like, oh shit, once again, people looking around like, oh shit, what is he gonna do? I'm mad, like, I'm fucking mad. Like, I get up, and you would think I was Mike Tyson swinging. Like, I got up like I was about to knock him into the next dimension. Like, I said, whoo! Once again, another tall dude. So when I went to go swing, I'm thinking I'm about to take his head off. I hit him in the shoulder. And he just looks at me like, nigga. So he starts swinging. So I'm like, I'm covering up, trying to get a couple body punches in, but I'm covering up. So the fight was over real quick, but I still count that as L. Just in my personal preference. All right, so at this point, I'm 1-2, right? So the 4th fight I get into is with this dude. I was about to say his name. But, all right, so backstory. This dude used to come to school all the time smelling like pee, right? It was the running joke. We all would make the jokes. But I don't remember, but I don't think nobody ever said it to his face. So it just so happened, we was on the playground once again, early in the morning. We having a conversation. I was like, oh, I don't remember what we were saying, but I remember at some point I was like, yeah, that dude smelled like pee, blah, 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 blah. Just so happened, he was walking by, and he said, and there was a fence, so he was on the other side of the fence. He was like, you said what? Then I don't remember what I said. I said something back to him. So he came storming around the fence. So you know at that point, you like, yeah, this shit about to go down. So, like I said, at this point, I done been in 3 fights. I'm 1-2. I'm like, in my head while he walking over, I'm like, yeah, I ain't about to go down 1-3. So I'm in there, bang, 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 hitting this dude, hitting him all up against the fence, doing my little Floyd, hitting him with the shoulder. Like, nah, dip, dip, dip. He wasn't ready for it. So, I whooped him up real quick. The assistant principal came out, took off. I was gone. So I ran behind these group of kids who was just standing there talking and laughing or whatever. And, like, the principal didn't find me. Luckily, the dude didn't snitch because I think he got caught, but he didn't snitch. He didn't say who he was fighting, so that was solid. So I got off of that. So, I got back to class. Everybody like, yeah, man, you won. I was like, yeah, I'm the best in the world. Acting like my record wasn't 2-2 at that point. But, so that was the 4th fight. And then my 5th fight, I'm trying to remember, did I have a fight that year? My 5th fight, I want to say, was 7th grade. I got into a fight with a dude. I'm trying to remember which fight. Oh, okay. So I got into a fight with this one dude who, I don't know. Like, I have an alpha personality. I think he thought he had an alpha personality, so we'd always butt heads. So this day, I just wasn't with it. Like, usually I'm this. I'll talk. I'll go back and forth with you a little bit. I was not having it that day. So he called himself bumping me while he walked past my desk. I was like, dude, chill out. I'm not in the mood today. I'm not trying to play. Like, chill out. So he went back from the pencil sharpener, bumped me again. I was like, nah. So I got up, picked him up, slammed him against the desk. Now we scrapping. We going at it, whatever. Desk flying all over where the teacher just over there, like, looking. Like, security breaks into the room, tries to break it up or whatever. Like, we, like, rumbling. So that was a win on my book. So I'm 3-2 at this point, right? So for that one, I think I got a week suspension or whatever. So I get back to school. Like I said, back in the day, you fought, you was cool. We was cool, blah, blah, blah. So the next fight I get into was with another dude in the same class. I don't even remember what we was talking about. I think we was just, I don't remember. We was outside the classroom talking about something. Next thing I know, we wrestling. Next thing I know, the wrestling turned a little serious. So he put me in a headlock. And this dude was fat. I know I'm big, but this dude was fat. So he had me in a little headlock. I couldn't breathe. I ain't even gonna hold you. I couldn't breathe for shit. So I started hitting him in the gut, giving him a couple body punches to the gut. Next thing I know, now we tussling. One of my shoes slips off because I ain't have it tied too tight. My shoe slipped off, so I'm sliding now. So it looked like to everybody on the outside like he got me, but really, I ain't really feel none of his punches. Or that headlock was the worst thing, but I ain't feel none of his punches. So you can take that fight as whatever. So the next fight I get into, and these are all fights I remember. Like, I've been in little fights here and there when I was younger. Like, growing up, you got into a lot of fights, like all the fights with my cousins. But these are fights like I vividly remember. That's why I'm counting them like that. So the next fight I got into this dude, it was stupid. So we was in class, and the dude walked by my desk, and he had knocked my report card off my desk. It was a complete accident, but me and him was cool, so I was playing with him. I was like, yo, pick up my report card, thinking we just playing. He's like, no. And he tried to keep walking, so I grabbed his arm. It's like, nah, dude, pick up my report card. You just knocked it off. So I get up out my desk. We standing face to face. Like I said, we cool, so I think we just joking. So he look around. He must have thought like, oh, they think he's soft, he a little bitch. Like, what am I gonna do? Dude swings on me, right? So at this point, I'm like, oh shit, like when the fucking adrenaline start falling, you going. So we fighting, we tussling or whatever. The teacher tries to break it up. In the midst of the teacher breaking up, she kicks her, like, she's trying to separate us. She kicks her heel up. Kicks me in the fucking head with her heel. So now my shit bleeding from the fucking teacher. So, like, now I'm really mad. So they break it up or whatever. Like, now I'm in the principal's office. They're like, oh, this is the second fight you done got in the last 2 weeks. What are we going to do about you or whatever? I'm like, yo, your fucking educator just kicked me in the goddamn head. And like later on, I found out everybody in the class mad. They're like, "Yo, that teacher kicked you. Fuck that bitch." All this stuff. Like people going wild because the teacher kicked me. Like they done forgot I was in a fight before that, before the teacher even kicked me. So long story short, I didn't even get suspended for that fight. And like I had a big ass knot on my head from that. Heels was thick. She kicked me in the head. She had to apologize and everything. But that was wild. And then I want to say I got into another fight. I don't think it was that same year. But I don't know, man. I don't fight no more. Like that's why I got into like once I turned 16, I was like, yo, you can get arrested for fighting. I was done. You can say whatever you want in the world to me. Just don't touch me. That's it. Don't touch me. Like, I'm not out here. I ain't trying to be big bad. I ain't trying to wrestle with nobody. I ain't trying to tussle with nobody. None of that. Just don't touch me. Like, don't touch me. Like, I'm not with it. Like, I'm not with that touching. Like, you can say whatever you want. People, you know when somebody's scared to fight when they talking. And they like, dude, hit me first. Do it. Do it. Do it. You ain't gonna do nothing. All that talking. Like, I grew up in the era where we don't do all that talking. Either you gonna hit them or that's it. Like, just let it go because we don't do all that talking. Talking is you trying to draw attention to yourself and get it broken up before anything can happen. Like, we don't do all that talking. Either you're going to fight or you're not going to fight. And if you're going to fight, y'all going to be cool after win or loss. You don't fight, oh, I'm going to go get my cousins, or I'm going to go get my brother, or I'm going to go get a gun. Nah. You fight, you squash the beef. That's it. That's how you do it. So, all y'all listening out here, y'all new generation people out here shooting people, killing people just because you got beat up. Just take your hits like a man. I done been beat up. I ain't never been knocked out, but I done been beat up. I done took some L's. Just you brush them off, you get back in that gym, and you start hitting them again. You know what I'm saying. All right, thanks for tuning in. Episode 20. See y'all next season.